Hey guys, it's Aman
And Christina
from
from
Our
Our
Rich
Rich
Journey.
Journey.
On today's video, we want to share with you guys something very unique. We are self-isolating here in Lisbon, Portugal. We have been in our house for 21 days. And over these past 21 days, we have been trying to find the silver lining in what is a nightmare for a lot of people right now. And so we want to focus on that. We understand that times are really tough right now, but we really need to help each other get through this by also staying positive and productive and using the opportunities when they present themselves to help other people. And so that's what we want to talk about in this video. We want to tell you what we've been doing in self-isolation for the past 21 days here in Lisbon, Portugal. We also want to share with you what we've been doing to stay productive and also what we've been doing to help others that are struggling at this time.
Now, before we get into what we're doing here, isolated in the house, we want to sort of give you a broader picture of what's going on in Lisbon or what's going on in Portugal in general. The president of Portugal has already declared a state of emergency, and as part of that state of emergency, they have three different groups that have been broken up. The first group of people are people that have already been infected, and the second group are people that have not been infected but are part of a vulnerable group, people that are 70 years or older, and the third group is a healthy group that shows no signs of symptoms and is also not part of the vulnerable population. We fall into that third group. And as part of being in that third group, we have what is called as a duty of self-isolation. So under this self-isolation duty, we are allowed to go to the grocery store, we are allowed to go to the banks, the pharmacies, we're allowed to go out for short durations of time in order to exercise, and we can go out in general for key or essential types of things that we need to get done.
So key and essential types of things that we have been doing is we go grocery shopping. And we've seen a lot of reports, especially coming in from the States, of what grocery shopping looks like in the US. It doesn't look like that here in Portugal. People are not in a situation where they are hoarding food. At least from what we've seen, people are not taking all of the toilet paper. There haven't been very long lines getting into stores. Things have been actually quite calm when it comes to shopping.
Another thing is that the restaurants here, many of the restaurants are closed. We have not eaten out at all over the last 21 days. We haven't taken food to go at restaurants. The restaurants, in terms of whether or not they stay open, the government has left that decision up to the restaurant owners. A lot of the restaurants have shut down, but the ones that are open are not allowed to have dine-in. They can only have takeout or delivery at these restaurants. So in addition to the restaurants, a lot of the businesses are also closed down in the area. Another big thing are the schools. They're scheduled to stay closed until April 9th, and sometime before that, the government is supposed to decide whether to extend that date of April 9th, which most likely will occur, but for now, at least all the schools in Portugal have been shut down.
Our daughters also play sports, and their sports teams have been shut down until further notice. All of these changes have all recently happened in the past 3 weeks. Before this, Lisbon and Portugal was carrying on just like any other country. We were going out, we were traveling, we were doing all of the normal things. But since this emergency went into effect, people have been doing the right thing by staying home and self-isolating.
We are spending a minimum of 23 and a half hours inside our house every single day, and we've been like that for the past 21 days. And I know there are probably very many people that are watching this that are in similar situations. So the next thing we really wanted to talk about is what we're doing inside the house in order to stay productive, because people can get very anxious being inside the house. They can become depressed. They have a lot of things that they'll try and do to keep them busy. But what we've been focusing on in this self-isolation period is staying productive.
And this is a very important point because you can stay busy all day long and accomplish nothing. What we want to do with our time inside is we want to be productive. And when you're productive, you are moving towards your goals. So we use this time to work on the goals that we've already identified and every day move closer to those goals. So no matter how long we are in self-isolation, no matter how many more days we are in our house, we will continue to move towards our goals.
And we encourage you to also stay productive and move towards your goals. Use this time in order to work on your goals and do something productive rather than just busy yourself with busy work.
So the first goal we are focusing on with self-isolation is educational enrichment for us and for our daughters. Let's start with our daughters. With our daughters, we have signed them up for an online school. And we have never done anything like this before. We've never homeschooled our children, and they've never done online schooling. But we couldn't be happier with what they are going through right now with the online school. You see, they're in school for 4 hours a day. That's 4 hours of productivity. That's 4 hours of educational enrichment. Because we couldn't imagine our children just taking off that time, waiting in limbo and not doing something that was moving them closer towards that goal. Now, as far as our own educational enrichment, we have a long list of educational goals that we wanted to take on. The first one was I wanted to get more involved in coding so that I could revamp our website. Our website was ugly. We threw it up about a year and a half ago. And with this time, I've used this opportunity to learn the code, and I've totally redone our website. I've even created a blog on our website.
Yes, and because we have our blog, I have also been spending more time writing. We never really had this blog component on our website, and so because we have that now, and because we've been in self-isolation, I've had more time to sit and to read and to write and spend time actually doing a consistent blog post.
Another goal I've been working on is designing a tiny house. This is something that I have wanted to do for a very long time. So I'm using this opportunity to learn more about designing tiny homes, all of the components that would go into a tiny home, so that one day we can build our own tiny house. And our next goal is physical fitness. We want to come out of this self-isolation stronger than ever. But it is a challenge because there are only so many workouts you can do in your home. So we are trying to be as creative as possible. And thank goodness for all the people out there giving us push-up challenges, sit-up challenges. We are going to come out of this thing even stronger than ever. So me, I'm used to working out every single day. I have a gym right around the corner for me, so I'm able to do all of that weight training there. So at home, I've had to be a lot more creative with finding resistance workouts.
And for me and Mel, we were swimming prior to the self-isolation period, and so Noah was playing basketball. So we have been doing YouTube videos in order to keep up with our cardio workouts. And that is us working out inside the house. Now, every single day, we try and go outside of the house and go for a walk, a very short walk, which lasts about 30 minutes. So other than going to the grocery store once a week and a daily walk, that is all we do outside. Other than that, we are inside the house the entire time.
So that's our physical goal. Our next goal is maintaining our investment strategies. You see, we like to invest in real estate, stocks, and we also like to invest in businesses. So one of the things that we've been doing is continuing to keep an eye on those opportunities. You see, this is a great time to explore those even further, to refine our plans based on the dynamics in the world and how they are changing. So that is something that we are using this time to look harder at.
And if you watch our most recent video, you also know that we just started investing again into the stock market. And we've had this period of isolation where we've been thinking about and running the numbers on investing in the stock market or reinvesting in the stock market. So because of this period of self-isolation and our focus on our investment goals, we made that decision to reinvest in the stock market again.
In that same video, we also talked about investing in real estate. And so we're using this time to keep an eye on the real estate market because we are sure it's going to change after everything that's going on. So that is just something that we have maintained during this period, is if we're investing in the stock market, we have a watch list of things that we want to invest in. If we're investing in real estate, it's the same thing. We are watching real estate markets.
So the next thing that we want to talk about is how we are staying positive and how you guys can stay positive through this process.
So some of the things that we're doing to stay positive is, of course, exercising, but we're also reaching out and continuing to make a connection with the people in our lives. We talk to our parents weekly. We talk to our friends as much as possible. We try to maintain that interaction with people outside of the house and inspire people when we're having that conversation with them. I mean, there are a lot of negative things that we could be talking about right now, but we try to have an uplifting conversation when we're talking to people on a daily basis. The next thing we are doing is limiting our news. Now, we think it's very important to stay informed on what's going on right now, But we also think that it can be very negative if you are in a news cycle where you're watching news about what's going on every single hour of every single day. You see, with us, we get our information, the most pertinent information, and then we move on with the rest of our day. If we're watching news every single day and hearing story after story, we think that that is a negative effect on your positivity.
So our point is not to let the news cycle consume you. Find something else that you enjoy doing and do that. We have been baking a lot. The girls have been dancing a lot. We have been finding other activities that we enjoy doing that help us stay positive. And one other thing that helps us focus on positivity, we understand that we are actually very fortunate in our situation. And because of that, we have this opportunity to give back. And one of the things that we've done is we've donated money to the Alameda County Community Food Bank. This nonprofit has been around for more than 30 years and distributes millions of healthy meals with fresh staples and produce every year to families in need. Now, the reason why we picked this particular nonprofit to donate money to is first because we have a relationship with them. When we were in the Bay Area, we volunteered at their warehouse. But the second reason is because if you are familiar with the situation in California, all of the schools have shut down. And there are a significant number of students, of kids that rely on the free meal programs that are provided at school. Now, because schools have been closed, many kids may go without the meals that they normally receive throughout the day at school. So this is one of the many things that this nonprofit does. It provides nutritious meals to kids and families in need.
Now, this is what we're doing. Now, if you don't have money, you can always give your time or you can give some other resource in your life. Like, for example, you can write a letter to someone that is stuck in a nursing home because they cannot go out. You can help someone go get groceries who cannot go out and get those groceries for themselves. There are a number of ways that you can bring positive energy to this situation because we believe strongly in taking action, even at a moment like this. Even if you're stuck at home, sitting in your house for 23 and a half hours a day, you can still take action to help someone else. That's why we made this video, because we want to share with you what we're doing and hopefully inspire you no matter what your situation is.
So we normally have a normal closeout we do for each video. If you've been watching all of our videos, you know how we close out every single video, but we're gonna do something different. In this video, rather than our normal closeout, we are encouraging you to go out and do something positive for someone else, whether it's with your money, with your time, or with your resources. Go out and fill the world with positivity, stay positive, and stay productive.